Good morning, good morning. This is Recie Myers coming to you live on this Monday morning. A lot of people hate Mondays, but I just love every day. One of the things I need to do every day is to come on out and exercise. And so before I start my exercise, I thought I'll just come and share. You know, yesterday, Roland, my husband, and I, we went walking in the park. And one of the things we like to do is he loves to go to the playground, not to play ball or anything, but he likes to sit and swing. Sometimes I push him and listen to music, since we were going to the park yesterday, and I thought, okay, the park is, I like to sit and I swing, but just a gentle movement where I can just put my feet in the grass and, pull myself back and forth, because anything with intense motion, it gets me dizzy. So I'm relating this back to last week. We're talking about branding yourself when you have an online business, that you bring value to the marketplace. And so since I'm into health and wellness, I'm all about health, living healthy, living a healthy life, in not only in your foods and all that stuff, but that dizziness, it brought some questions to my mind, like, why do I always have this vertigo? So I said, well, since I'm bringing content and value, number one, I want to find out what's causing that. Thank you for the love. Oh, I see. Hey Janet, good morning. So I thought, let me just look up what it says about vertigo. And in the process, I learned a little something about me. Well, I have to see my assistants here. Vertigo, it's a whirling, spinning sensation, like everything's going around and around in a spiral, and you're just, you're motionless, or you're standing in one place. Good morning, Lee. Hey, Lee. It's been a long time. Glad that you can join me this morning. And so it's a symptom. Vertigo is a symptom. It's not a cause. That you have it because of something else, and it's triggered by, it could be an infection, whether a bacterial infection or some type of viral infection. It can be caused by injury, certain kinds of injury, medications, and sometimes that injury or medication could damage the central nervous system. And this vertigo, it's also when your three main systems are not in alignment. When your eyes, your ears, the equilibrium, whatever that fluid is, your eyes and your brain is out of alignment. And that can even be caused by people who slouch, have a poor posture, because your head is not sitting on top of your spine like it should be. They said it can last for hours, days. It can last for weeks, even months, and even up to years. Hi, good morning, Dana. Glad that you can join me this morning. I'm just talking about vertigo, and I was interested in that because every time I sit on the swing, I want to know, why am I always getting dizzy or having that vertigo feeling? I put some notes in the comments, and I prepared them ahead of time, and so I have some that I can refer to. The effects. How do you know that you're having vertigo? Well, here's some of the effects. You may hear ringing in your ears. Sometimes you may have a headache. Sometimes you start sweating profusely. Your eye may be twitching. I don't know, everybody, why is your eye just jumping like that? Nausea or sometimes vomiting. Sometimes you can have a fever. And if it's not treated or addressed, if there's an infection especially, and it's left untreated, it can lead to hearing loss. So though vertigo may not be a life-threatening occurrence, if it's not addressed, if you don't know what's the root cause, it could cause more damage. Hi, good morning, Kimba. I'm glad that you can join me this morning. I'm just talking about vertigo and what inspired me to go looking and finding out. See, there's the thing. When you bring value, bring content, and this is something that I know interests me. And according to what I've read, more than 40 million Americans suffer from vertigo at some point in their lives and have to seek treatment. 40 million, that means there are a lot of people out there who have vertigo. Now, who's susceptible to vertigo? The people who are likely to have it are those who may have diabetes, where there's a hardening of the arteries, pregnant women, especially early in their pregnancy. That's when there's a lot of hormonal changes that take place. Good morning, Kimba. Good morning. Glad that you can join me this morning. I'm sure. Did I address you? I don't know if I said hello. Yes. Oops, I lost something. Who else might develop vertigo? Well, if you are in a car, I don't know if this has ever happened to you. Motion. If you're in a car or like on a boat, and that constant motion back and forth, that rocking, that can cause vertigo. Let's see. Branding yourself, living a health. Thank you. Yes. Sorry. Somebody else who might be affected by vertigo, people who are bedridden, whether through illness or an injury, and they have to lay down for long periods of time, staying in bed too long. Now, there's some people who stay in bed because they really don't want to get up and get out and get exercise, but that's different. But you still can suffer from vertigo. Head and neck injuries. That's especially if there's damage done to the blood vessels or your nerves. So that can also cause vertigo. So as I was looking through all this about vertigo, it put in mind of my childhood growing up. I had suffered like two major injuries. One happened when I was like maybe in 7th or 8th grade. I was playing a game with some friends in a club. We call ourselves Pathfinders. And a social event, the children, there was a game. The leader would blow a whistle like 5 times. And for all the kids who were around, they had to assemble themselves in groups of only 5. If that group had more than 5 people, then the entire group was out. So my group, we formed ourselves into 5, and we locked arms. But then this boy came in. He wanted to get in, and he was gonna. If he couldn't get out, he's gonna make everybody get out. And so he was just bullying, coming through, and he did his elbow like this. And me being only very short, he being taller, his elbow hit me, wham, right in my ear. And then that ringing sensation, that ringing sound, and then of course those fluids started to drain from my ear, and it hurt for like, I didn't tell my dad. As I was walking around holding my head like this, and he said, "What's wrong?" And you felt, at least I felt at the time, like I was in water. And you know how water gets in your ear, but it was hurting. And the air, the wind that was blowing was hurting my ear. So I suffered that injury when I was like in 7th or 8th grade. But then in the 9th grade, I suffered another injury. I was standing on top of my cousin's shoulders, and we didn't have the equipment, the gym equipment that would, like tumbling mats. We had ordered them, our school ordered them, but they were en route. They hadn't arrived yet. But me being a daredevil, I was standing on my cousin's shoulders, and she was walking, and I was balancing. And somehow I lost my balance and fell backwards onto the hard concrete ground and busted my head open. I knocked myself unconscious. And so when I regained consciousness, of course there was a pool of blood behind my head, and I was being placed into an ambulance. Anyway, that injury, which busted my head open, it caused some other problems where my equilibrium was off. So when I stood up, I couldn't stand straight. I was walking like sideways and had to hold on. And so now, I knew vertigo never affected me as a child, but as I got older and as I get older, and according to the research, it said it mostly affects people in the 50s and onwards. Some sources say that 50 and up, others say 65 and up, and I'm definitely not 65. So an injury is something that caused my, my vertigo to keep reoccurring. Now, I can't share everything with you today. Tomorrow, I'm going to share with you some suggestions of exercises to treat vertigo, to diminish the reoccurrence of it. Now, I shared with you a little story about vertigo and how it affected me, how I got it. And in the link somewhere, you will see, in the write-up, you'll see 3 links. One is for storytelling, because as part of my training, I get to give away free stuff. So if you have events or something that has happened in your life that you want to tell a story, you can get a free link for some guidance on there. You can also get a free link to suggestions for storytelling. And I love telling stories. Stories, because we can all identify with stories in some way, shape, or form. So I have a link for storytelling. And if you want to do attraction marketing, which is what I am doing right now, and I'm just enjoying, it's not something you have to go out of your way, but you address things that influence or impact, or things that your audience, problems that your target audience may have. And so as I'm on this journey, I just want to share with you all and encourage you. If you have something within you that you want to get out, and there are many people who want to tell their story, and we all have different stories for different things. And what I'm in the process of doing is sharing my story. Oh, hold on. Let me do this again. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. There's several people. Sorry, Dana, glad that you can join me this morning. Hi, Sipo, good morning. Herbert, my cousin Herbie, good to see you. I wasn't showing. Rolita says, wow, never knew about vertigo. Appreciate you sharing. Thank you. 40 million people, yes ma'am. That's a lot of people who suffer from it, and some people don't even realize that that's what it is. So, yes, hopefully the information that I've shared, I've given you some free training where you can start your own journey. And if there's something that you want to share, there's a way that you can do it as well. I thank you for joining me. Maybe this story, my message may not be for you this morning, but it might be for someone you know. So I encourage you, if you would share it out, it can help someone, and you can be blessed by it. I thank you guys for joining me this morning, and I will see you again tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Have a powerful, blessed day, and enjoy. Bye now.